come to give you the glory. We've come to bless your name, oh Lord. We bless your name, oh Lord. We've come to give you the honor. We've come to worship you, our God. We worship you, our God. Our God. We praise you, Lord. We praise you, Lord. Hallelujah. We praise you, Lord. We praise you, Lord. Hallelujah. We praise you, Lord. We praise you, Lord. The highest praise, it belongs to you. We come to give you the glory. We come to worship you, oh Lord. We worship you, oh Lord.
Welcome, Vnetwork Radio listeners. Welcome to another edition of Music Entertainment Talk with your host, Don Paget. And we got a wonderful, wonderful program for you today. We ask you to sit back, relax, join us with 1 hour of good gospel music right here on the Vnetwork Radio. And we have a special guest from London. Yes, we have a special guest from London. We asking everyone to share this broadcast, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative that we are on. And we have a special guest all the way from London, and yes, in the UK, and we're here with them, and she is back in the background, and we're going to bring her in all the way from London. Yes, we have a international recording artist, Oneika David, with her new single Hallelujah. You just heard it, and I'm telling you, it's going all over the world. Yes, international artist. Yes, once again, we have Oneika David coming in to the studio, and we want to welcome her. She is live with us. How you doing, Pastor Oneika David?
Bless you.
God
I'm
bless
doing
you. God
well,
bless
thank
you.
you. How are you?
Oh, I'm telling you, we're blessed and highly favored.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hey, the song says Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yeah. Yes. You've recorded numerous singles and numerous projects, and I'm telling you, everything gets better and better each year. You know, you did the project 29 Majesty, and then 2020 Hallelujah. I'm telling you, it's awesome. You know, and just want to just give us a snippet of your bio. We have Pastor Oneika David is a singer, songwriter, worship leader, dancer, actress, and pastor who is passionate about using her God-given talents to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Wonderful. Yes. So what got you started in the music?
Before I got saved as a young girl, I always loved to sing. So I would always be the one singing in my school plays. My voice would be the loudest. At family functions, I was always called upon to sing. So I'd already had a passion for singing, and I started singing at talent shows and open mic sessions throughout the UK. Yes, I also started a group. We were called OD. So it was me and another young lady. And just as we were about to start taking off, we had setting at the MTV base to do a live performance, she pulled out. And after that, I kind of just decided to just focus on my secular career and not really do music. So it was only until I got saved, just fast tracking, until I got saved, and in my home church, it was recognized that I could sing. And then I joined the worship team and literally started, picking up music again, and started writing worship songs. And that's where it started for me.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. A lot of times we get set up on individuals and people and the things around us. In the in especially singing the gospel. And one of the things is that we've got to maintain and our focus has to be on Jesus Christ, and because
Absolutely.
He is the author and He is the finisher of our faith. And
That's
tell us about you dealt with so much during that time, and how did you feel when when your friend in that type of situation, and then also record labels turning you down and things like that. How did it make you feel?
I think I already was having self-esteem issues anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and it really did knock my confidence. I never really felt like I was good enough,
Yeah.
and it was always that striving to be like, and never feeling like I could be free to be myself and use the talent that God's given me. So I would always be criticized. People would say, oh, you should sound more like Mariah Carey, you should sound more like Whitney Houston, you should sound more like, and it became that trying to then sound more like these different people, that I kind of lost my sound and lost who I was. And then my cousin and I, he's a producer. We worked on a project, and we worked really hard. I mean, I was sleeping over at his home. We were up like till early hours of the morning,
Mm-hmm.
just recording material and just showing the versatility of my gift, really. And all the songs were written by me or co-written with my cousin. And yeah, so it was really a really difficult time, because after that he then went to Sony, he went to Arista Records, he went to all of the labels, and then they were saying, oh well, she's not R&B enough, or she's not pop enough, or she's not hip hop soul enough. And so after that, it really did knock my confidence, and I thought, well, maybe this road isn't for me. So yeah, that was really a challenge.
Yeah, we have so many women in gospel, and I'm just so grateful that you are an encourager. You have gone through, and you've continued, in recording, and that's so great. And that's one of the things. We have Linda Sanders and so many others are showing love on the chat room on this
Oh,
evening, and
bless you.
these are artists in the gospel. We have Mr. Johnny Ruffin Jr. out there. Thank you for tuning in. And so many artists are tuning in to this interview. And what we want to do is we want to encourage those artists. You may go to a label and they may say you don't sound your sound is not R&B, your sound is not hip hop, but we're singing gospel, but they want it to sound more of a secular genre, and so you've got to make that choice and that decision to say, hey, hey, I'm going to step back from this. This is not for me, or you're going to continue with it. And a lot of times when you're dealing with record labels and things like that, they have their own producers and their
Mm,
own engineers, and they want to hear a certain sound, that a sound
absolutely.
that's going to sell and that's going to move the music to the mainstream, so it can be played all over the world. And you have to make that decision on what if you want to go that route. And so yeah, definitely it's a definitely challenging and learning experience And you got to be very open to make things happen in the gospel music industry. And you face those challenges, you overcome them. Now, tell me something. You got back in the church, and you with the praise team, and then also I see you got into the ministry. Becoming an evangelist, now pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking the levels is, and the levels keep going higher and higher with your ministry.
Yeah. By God's grace. I was an evangelist in training for some years, and then it was only in 2019 where my bishop, well, she was the senior pastor of our local fellowship, the Berkeley Hall Christians Fellowship. Bless you
Mm,
all, for those of
all
you that
right.
have tuned in. Was going to be ordained a bishop, and there was a word of prophecy that was given that I would also be ordained as a pastor. So that came as quite a shock, and wasn't I didn't feel I was quite ready for being a pastor. But the word of the Lord came and just confirmed that that's what he has called me, and the position that he's called me to be in. So on the 16th of February 2020, last year, I was ordained an associate pastor at our local fellowship.
All right. That is so wonderful. And and here again, you're going to have to be able to juggle your schedule, and with the ministry, and then with the singing ministry, praise team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to deal with. And I just want to say thank you, Johnny Ruffin Jr., who's a recording artist here in the United States and internationally. He says you have to keep going. Is it what God gave you? And yes,
Absolutely.
God gave it to you. You gotta continue doing what God tells you to do. And every round, how you say, gets higher and higher.
It does. It does.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
also, we have promoters here. We have Mr. James Bernard Dorsey, and he says, "I'm watching." Okay, all right, Mr. Dorsey. Hey, Mr. Dorsey, you're talking with international, national, international artists all the way from the UK, London. All right, we're in the international waters now.
Bless you.
Let's talk about. And I love this project, and I just want to show the next project that you recorded. And I love the project Majesty. All right, and that's that lovely cover there, Majesty. And let's just talk about that project.
Oh, Majesty was birthed from, having just those intimate moments where you just want to glorify and honor God in his sovereignty and his supremacy, and just recognizing how sovereign he truly is and how beautiful and lovely he is. And so I was inspired to write Majesty,
Hmm.
based on that place that I was at, where I just wanted to write something that honors and reverences his majesty. And yeah, it was a wonderful project. I was blessed to work with Joe Wilson. He's an international producer as well. And the backing vocals, the BVs, were done by a team in Ghana. So
Wow.
they did the backing vocals. Amazing.
Wow.
They've done amazing and fantastic
All right.
vocals on that, and just captured the vision and just run with it. And I guess with my gift, I can sit here and just get a melody, and then I will start writing to the melody. Some people get the music first and
Hmm.
then write over the music, but I always seem to get a melody in my head and I write that. And what I found, it's quite challenging for producers and musicians to catch the vision, because they've got to tap into what I'm hearing. And though I've got the melody, they've got to tap in and to the dynamics of that.
Right.
So yeah, so that's how Majesty was created and birthed.
And just want to say to everyone, how can the our fans and our family out there in Radio Land and right here on Facebook can get your music? How can they get your music?
So my music is on all major platforms. It's on Google Play, on iTunes, Spotify. It's on all major platforms. You can also access it from YouTube. And yeah, so.
Yes, and we're so happy that you were able to come on today, and it's morning time, 1 a.m. in the morning in London, and I'm telling you that is a sacrifice to you're 5 hours ahead, 5-6 hours ahead of us, and I was like, wow. So yeah, we'll definitely appreciate you being on, and yes, we want everybody to go out and support it's wonderful projects by Pastor Oneika David, and you can go out to your internet, all the digital outlets, and go get her music. And I'm telling you, it will bless you. And I love that song Majesty. Wow. In the beginning, the music portion at the beginning, it's like, wow. Yes, I love that. And you had a guitarist play that Majesty.
So that track is all live instruments.
Okay.
So yeah, all live instruments on Majesty.
And the guitarist with that chorus, they did a very wonderful job, and I just love it. Mainly because I'm a guitarist, but I just love that beginning,
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna hear any kind of acoustics, that acoustic sound in your music for future?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I guess that's the kind of feel. But I'm just so grateful that as a child of God, we can be versatile.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if you heard my first release, which was We Shall Overcome, which is very much a bit more, R&B, gospel.
All right.
But yeah, so
up tempo.
Right. So
yes.
So that was just a little bit different than this project. But there's many more tracks we are working on, just completing the album. So that will be completed at some time next year, because I'm currently working on completing my autobiography. So
all right,
that's almost finished. So that will be released this year. So working on a few projects at the moment, other projects. So
and so many have chimed in the chat room. They're going to go out, and I'm getting messages. They're going to go out and get your project. I'm telling you, the projects that we talked about is going to bless you. I'm telling you so greatly. And I want to encourage all of our women in the gospel music industry, to make sure that you go out to the website, and you have a website, and you could just state what your website is.
Yeah, it's www.oneika.david.com.
And just to listen to her story, in her bio section. I'm telling you, and any artist, you will be encouraged. Make sure you go out to her web, and she's on Facebook also, so you can go out to the Facebook page, and it will take you direct to the website, and I'm telling you, and you can read the entire bio and just read the story. And I'm just telling you, I was just touched. And it's great to be able to see that you are encouraged and that you're motivated and that you're inspired. In the gospel music industry. And we hate to see the artists and they just get discouraged. And well, we want to encourage all of our artists. We want to push, especially our gospel legends, in the gospel music industry. And that's what we want to do here at the Vnetwork Radio. We want to inspire all of our artists to be the best that they possibly can. Because when you go up there to get those awards and we're spinning your music and we've done interviews after interviews, we want to make sure we're with you.
Amen.
When we see Pastor Oneika David, up in the shiny lights, yes, she started right here at the Vnetwork Radio.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. I
So
that.
we're right along.
I
And
think,
anything that we could do to push your projects, music, we're here for you.
Oh, thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate all the support and all the love. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I think the most important thing is just to stay focused. I wrote a song called I Can Only Be Me. And it's just, I can only be who God has called me to be. I can't be anyone else. I can only be me. And it's just, you pushing through and doing what God has given you, because even if it's just one person that is blessed from your ministry, then you've done a job well, you've done a good job. So it's just about staying focused, and it's not getting distracted with how many views you have, because that can be quite discouraging. When you look at, there's people that's got all of these millions of views and you may only have 5 views.
Right.
And you may think, oh, because I've only got 5 views, then, maybe, I'm not being recognized. But it's not being discouraged, based on views, because your identity is not dependent on about the amount of people that know you. It's dependent on you doing what God has called and ordained you to do, and that's what's most important. Your gift will make room for you.
And I was just talking with a gospel artist, and I thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I'm going to let one of the gospel artists to go back and listen to this interview, because sometimes they get caught up into numbers, and they forget who they're serving, and about the ministry, and and they get caught up in all these digits and things like that, and then they lose focus. And so I just want to thank you for that tip in the gospel music industry, to stay focused. Is there anything else that you like to say to the fans?
Yeah, I just want
to friends
say
and gospel lovers.
Thank you to everyone that's supporting this project, and thank you so much to you,
thank you,
our dear doctor, for inviting me on. It's such a privilege to be here. And to receive such love and such support, it's wonderful. My encouragement is, just staying focused on what God has called and ordained you to do. You understand, as a child of God, we have been handpicked, specially selected by the Father himself. So when we understand who we are and whose we are, we understand that we are royalty, and therefore we carry an authority. And so with that authority, we are able then to exercise our rights as kingdom citizens who belong to God's household. So I want to encourage you today to understand that God has a plan and a purpose for your life. Now, he knows our destiny, and our destinies are sure, and our destinies are secure. He will give you a picture of the end, but he may not show you the process in which you've got to go to get to that end. But I want to encourage you that regardless of the challenges, regardless of the stumbling blocks, regardless of the haters and the enemies, you need to still push through and do what God has called you to do, because you are more than conquerors through Christ that love you. We are more than conquerors through Christ that love us. And so we can overcome any challenge and any situation that we face. And when we're singing and when we're writing, we're doing it all unto the glory of God. It's all about honoring him. And so the more that we decrease and the more that we get out of the way, then we allow room for the Spirit of God to come forth and use us for his glory and for his honor. Because we remember that we are called to worship, because God is the spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And so we must always remain in the spirit and not get caught up. That's why he tells us not to be conformed to the things of this world, but being transformed by the renewing of our minds. And once we're renewed in the spirit of our minds, we are then able to stay focused on that which he's called and ordained us to do. So just as I was saying before, don't get caught up with the numbers, who's following you, who thinks you can make it, who thinks you can't make it. If God has placed a call in your life and God has told you that this is what I've called you to do, then you just need to run with what God has called you to do. So I just want to encourage you all and just say, please come out and support the project. I will be sharing a lot more. Please tap into some of my messages as well. You will definitely be blessed. They're on Facebook. I'll be uploading some more on the YouTube. But I think, if you follow my journey, also the book that's going to be released, you'll hear, how God has delivered me from some really terrible situations. And I'll give you a snippet of my book, if that's all right, sir.
Yes.
We were raised in one of the renowned estates in the UK. Now you call them in the USA projects. In the UK, we call them estates.
Mm-hmm.
And so this estate that we grew up on, a lot of gun crime, knife crime, a lot of violence. And we were shot at by gunmen when we were only little children, and had to flee from our home.
Wow.
And that's where our journey started, and that's where my journey started. And so that's all I'm going to tell you, because you'll need to read the book. But that was the only occasion that I was faced with somebody threatening my life with a gun. So I would encourage everyone to once that book is released, to purchase that book. And see what God can turn from nothing and turn into something great.
All right, wonderful. And thank you so much, and get some rest. And I'm telling you, thank you so much, and God bless you.
Oh, God bless you too.
All right, take care now.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Yes, you've heard it right here on the Vnetwork Radio. Oneika David, a international recording artist, right here on the Vnetwork Radio. We're asking everybody to go out to all the digital outlets to support her in the ministry, and also just go out to the website. And the website I posted. And thank you, Lovely Lee. Thank you so much for posting the website. Yes, and that's the website there, OneikaDavid.com. And so you just go out there and take a look at the website. All right. Thank you all. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow night. We got a group of young artists here. Covenant. They'll be with us, our special guests, on tomorrow night. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night. And don't forget, on Monday night, we have Mr. Johnny Ruffin Jr. will be in the house with us. And tune in. Yes, more gospel artists in the gospel music industry coming to you right here on the Vnetwork Radio. Please support. You can go out to our website. Our website is vnetradio.com, vnetradio.com, and just go out there and listen to 24 hours of good gospel music right here on the Vnetwork Radio. Thank you all, and God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. And we want everybody to come out and support. God bless.